but I put my hand on my back door handle, and that's the last thing I remembered before I woke up face down on the concrete.
No one knows the way but your damn self. People try to lend a hand, but they can't help. You gotta pick and choose.
Welcome back to FitCast, episode whoever knows, whatever sits at the bottom. I am Danny Trejo, owner and operator of ARCS for the last 4.5 years, and today I have Amanda White.
Hello, hello.
And depending on how I color graded this video, she might look really white right now. I've been trying to tone that down. In fact, this light is like 20 feet away from you, so that way you're not like glowing.
Not my fault. We're not all brown.
What can I say? I got a great skin. It's also winter in Austin, so
yeah,
we're not getting a whole
not
lot of sun.
fault.
Not a whole lot of sun recently. This is actually the whitest I think I've been. I don't know, a long time.
When you've got 2 days of 45 degrees and then 6 days of 87 degrees, it's fine to be pale and indoors.
Oh my god, it's so good. Actually, I'm kind of sad that we're even recording
Same,
inside.
I was thinking about it
we should be
earlier.
outside. Why are we indoor? And it's all dark in here.
Yeah, blocking off all sunlight.
I like blankets up over the window so that it doesn't
fine.
light leak and stuff.
Yeah.
God, it's so bad. So we're having Amanda. We have Amanda on today, specifically to talk about kind of her journey with fitness. And she's not a trainer. She's not in the fitness world, but I like to get people who have ventured in that world and kind of find relatable things that happen to them that obviously you can take away from as well. Because it can kind of be overwhelming the trainer talking about their thing, and they're like, well, that's what you do for a living, so, how can I do that if that's what literally you get paid to do?
Yeah, it's hard to take it for authenticity for sure.
Yeah.
Times.
And by the way, I don't get paid to work out, I get paid for programming and like accountability. People think like, you get paid to work out. I wish.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
He gets paid to look like he works out so he can get clients who also work out.
Maybe. I guess that's a little bit more
To an extent.
feasible, yeah.
But he takes it to another level. Yeah. It's good people.
What's good people?
You, with your training, with what you're putting into the world, don't be weird about it.
You hear that? I'm sure. I don't. Amanda and I also have been friends for a while. We've worked together a couple sessions, I guess. We only did a few things.
A couple.
Just like one of those friendly things that trainer does. I'm like, hey, let's meet at the gym. I'll show you some stuff. Kind of help you out. Put you on the right track. Speaking of which, let's talk about your relationship with fitness before you are where you are now. And you're not like crazy now anyways, right? You're not like working out every single day.
It's up and down.
Yeah. But
sure.
you have had an interesting relationship with fitness, I guess, over the years. So let's start, 22 years old? When did you start Bootcamps? Why did you start Bootcamps, actually, more importantly?
Why did I start Bootcamps? Well, Bootcamps probably started 4 years ago. That was my first retransition back into when I wanted to start getting back into fitness. That was my first step to hold myself accountable.
So you were already into fitness before that, though?
I was recreationally playing soccer for 14 years. When I wasn't during soccer season, I was on swim team during summers. So I was always active, and it was always cardio related. So boot camps is something that's a little bit different.
Oh, that was your first into your strength training and
a
stuff.
Little bit more.
Like more weights and stuff.
Yep, I used to work at a gym for only a year, but I worked at the front desk. So I wasn't even on the floor hardly unless I was walking to the restrooms to clean it. So it was just still intimidating even working at a gym for a year and then getting on the floor. And I started getting employee discounts for training sessions. So I started doing a little bit of fitness
That's right,
at the
24
gym.
is a really good deal, if I'm not mistaken. It's like
Yes.
40% off or something.
And they had 3 packs, so it was easy to dabble without committing fully. 3 sessions are a great way to start. But I ended up going once a week, and that was my first little incorporation with fitness. But then I started going to school at Texas State, which took me out of Austin a little bit, which transferred where I had to work out and how. So once I finally was done with school there for a little bit, I was back in Austin, and that's where camps got me right back into with the strength side of things, but also incorporating some cardio with it, because I was used to cardio, running, sprint drills, circuits, things like that.
How do you fit that into your life, though, like the boot camps? You just go I'm going to do it in the morning, and because that's what works.
I'm a total morning person, so that was easier for me, because by the end of the day, I work in a dental office, so it's an 8 to 5 type of job. So by the end of the day, it's easy to get caught up in the traffic, and then there's groceries and dinner, and it just gets so draining by the time you even have the energy to mentally get ready to go to the gym. So that's a battle within itself.
Thank you.
And then to transfer
This is what I preach to my clients all the time. It's before you're at work, you don't have to do anything. So do the things
Yes.
you want to do before you go to work.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
It's difficult to incorporate, but I had these goals of going at like 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. rolled around, and too often I was skipping these workouts and I was disappointing myself, and the mental battle was I had to rework my lifestyle a little bit. So I had a lot of energy in the mornings. I really wasn't one to hit snooze too many times, but once I'm up, I'm up. So I was able to start finding some camp sessions that were like 5:15 in the morning, which was a little too early. But working at the gym, some people get there at like I started my shift at 6, and I'd have trainers that were already there. I had a session at 4:30 and 5 a.m., especially at 24-hour fitness where people work out at any time they want. So
Ryan, I think, started like 4:30 or 5 or something.
Some people, this guy Ben Welch was always there at like 5:30 every morning, and my mom has clients that start at 5 a.m.
By the way, her
multiple
mom's a
times a
trainer.
week. My mom's a
But
trainer.
that had made no effect on your fitness life.
No, unfortunately for her.
There's like no
it was just
information,
blah,
no
blah.
help, no like. It was so funny to me how like when I first met you, you had like no understanding of fitness really, besides just like the boot camp and stuff like that.
Right.
Because your mom's a trainer, I'm like, shouldn't you know everything? Because I can imagine like when I have kids, my kids are gonna know everything about training.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
he doesn't stop talking
my
though.
mom's just my kids are gonna know everything about everything.
Yes.
Just don't stop talking. My kid's not gonna be mute for like 10 years. He
Right.
just
Oh
doesn't
no.
know.
Never get a chance to speak ever.
But to be fair, my mom's a CPA and I don't know shit about accounting. So.
Yeah. Well, it comes a point you leave work at work and you have home at home. And training, it's so exhausting as it is sometimes. You really don't want to be bringing that home as well. You just
I
kind of
love
leave it
bringing
at the
it
gym.
Like,
Okay.
we're literally in my living room right now.
Bringing it
Like,
home.
we're at home.
But it's a different conversation.
Yeah.
So I just didn't get that growing up, I guess, is more importantly of what it was.
Yeah. So without that knowledge, you had to kind of learn on your own. Then you started doing boot camp. Started in the morning, 5:15, you said?
Yep, I went to the 5:15s, I went to the 5:30s because I start work at 7:30 or 8.
Yeah,
So
had
you
to.
still have to incorporate time to finish your workout, do it well. You know, you don't want to rush your workout and then get home and then have a crap day because you didn't try your hardest or done as much as you could have. You know, that's always a factor you
And
have
then you're
to
like, I
have.
might be wasting my money because I'm not really getting a quality workout
Right.
in. And,
I didn't wake up too early. Yeah, just all these things. So you have to incorporate enough time to, yes, shower, get food, and then get to work on time. So it was 5:15 sessions, 5:30 sessions, and I'd get the hookups when they would have the deals. So I still didn't commit to like a monthly fee. I would take the deals when they were having them. I would take the promotions when they were having them.
Cheap, I like it.
Yes, well, hey, I'm frugal. What can I say? But I would make the most of it. So it's 1 month fee, you know, you get it and it's a cheap deal, but you can go to as many sessions as you like. That's the cool part about some of these local boot camps is you can pick any location and it's all just parking lots. That was kind of the cool thing is you make yourself go, and the hardest part's always showing up.
Always.
With anything in life, you know? I've come to learn that over the
Yeah,
years.
pro tip, you want to work out regularly, get in the habit of just putting your shoes on and walking outside. That's it. That's the only thing I
That's
require
it.
you to do. And because you feel dumb for not doing anything else. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I might as well like go for a jog or something.
Yeah, or by the time you're there,
So-
you're like, I've already put my shoes on.
Yeah.
I've already woken up.
Yeah.
Might as well just go, yep.
And a little gratuitous moment for myself. 5-minute moves. That's why I made them. The 5-minute moves are designed to get you up and working out for literally just 5 minutes.
Yep.
So that way you're like, okay, I'm building a habit. And that's all I want people to do is build a habit. Because I think that's the hardest part, in my opinion. Because the working out part, just, when you're actually doing it, just seems so much easier. So much easier than you think it's going to be.
And I'll say this. So as someone on the other end, I've watched a couple of his 5-minute tip videos. I've done a couple of them. It sounds too good to be true. So I'm going to give you a tip that says give yourself 10 minutes because you have to mentally prepare for the first 3 or so. You know what I mean? Maybe 5. For me, it's 5. And then
What do you mean?
try to stretch.
Prepare for the first 3. What is that?
Well, because once you remember how we just talked about, you want to make sure you get a good workout, you try your hardest, you do it efficiently. So the first time I watched the 5-minute ab video, I went through it, but I didn't do the workout quite as effectively with it. So the first time you watch it, you go kind of quick. So I had to do it a second time so I could keep up with the time.
Okay.
But then once I got used to how the videos work, you have to mentally prepare to already get your body moving at the pace you need to, with the efficiency you need to, with the form you need to. So
Gotcha.
there's mental prep time and then physical exercise time. So my
Cool,
tip.
thanks for shitting all over my videos, but
No. The video was good.
No, I'm totally teasing.
Not everyone's just up and at 'em like Danny over here. That's 6 a.m.
We were just having a conversation with my my group class. I teach one class a couple times a week, and we were talking about how to wake up in the morning. And it was this girl Renee.
Open your eyes.
Pro tip: open your eyes.
Good way to start.
That's how Amanda does it. I don't. I like just get
Say
up with my eyes
thanks.
closed and just like wander around through the house. running into everything. And then when
Are you awake?
When I hit my head on the wall the third time, that's what wakes me up.
Yeah. See? Then you open your eyes.
Yeah, then I'm like, whoa. So she was saying, well, I don't have time to do your video in the morning because I'm trying to get her into a habit. She said she's been wanting to get into a daily habit. She goes to my class twice a week, but she doesn't do anything besides that. So I just do the deal, build the habit in the morning. I promise it's easy. And she goes, like, well, I don't have time in the morning. I'm like, dude, it's 6 minutes, with a 1 minute prep and then a 5 minute video. And she's like, well, I don't know if I can do that. And I'm like, well, do you hit snooze on your phone? She goes, yeah. Like, how many times? Like 3 times. I'm like, that's 27 minutes because it's a 9 minute on the iPhone. So it's 9 minutes when you hit snooze. 27 minutes?
Yeah.
You could be working out. And she's like, I don't know.
8 times.
You said you can just do it on repeat.
You could have done my whole week's videos
Yes, every
in your
morning.
snooze time.
Yeah, I know. So, and she's like, well, like, how many times you hit snooze? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm actually as my alarm's going off, I'm getting out of bed, and turning off my alarm. Like, my alarm gets turned off as I'm already standing, essentially. Like, I'm holding because my phone's next to me, so I'm like. But you're right. I literally get out of bed before I even turn my alarm off. And then I don't even realize I'm awake until I'm brushing my teeth. I'm like, oh shit, my day started. Like, I look around, I'm like, oh,
my eyes are open now. Oh, there's my toothbrush. There's actually this book that's out. It's about waking up. It's a mentality type of theory. It's called the 5-4-3-2-1 theory, which basically, and I don't know all the ins and outs.
But, yeah.
Well, it essentially tells you to kind of mentally prepare to get up and start your day like a rocket ship. When they count down to launch into space for NASA, there's no second guessing, there's no snooze, there's no anything. You count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the rockets launch, and you're into space, and the mission
it's a
started.
psychological trick.
Yes,
All right.
mental preparation. So 100%, you sit there and that alarm goes, and you have to tell yourself the night before, and you have to commit to doing it. But it's a definite daily challenge, and it's a real thing for like multiple weeks because that's a thing in the morning. Getting up, snoozing, still lollygagging after the snooze because your mentality is now lagged because you're ready for snooze and you're in that zone. Whereas if you incorporate this rocket launch type of mentality, kind of in between his and the snooze, he's still ahead of the dang rocket. But essentially it's the same thing.
So if my life was a rocket launch, I just walk into the room and go, launch!
Yeah.
They're like, what are you doing?
Roll calls? Oh, we're missing the team. Oh.
The rocket's not even on the platform.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna make it work. Adapt.
There's no one in the spaceship.
Oh, Lord, yeah. We'll try again tomorrow.
That's funny. But that's actually a good point, like psychologically speaking. And almost everything's psychological, like when it comes to this stuff. I always tell people it's all in here, all of it. Even people think the pain of working out is going to be the hard part. It never really is. And sure, you're sore afterwards, and that sucks. But the hardest part is going.
No pain, no gain.
Oh, God. I roll.
Emoji right there on the screen.
Emoji on my face and just going to eye roll.
It's true. In dental, it's funny because we'll have people that are like, well, they'll floss, right? And flossing hurts. And they're like, well, I think it hurts so good. Like, it's supposed to hurt. And I'm like, it's really not supposed to hurt. You're not supposed to floss harder. Just do it a little more often and it won't hurt as bad when you do it. And people will tell me when they use mouthwash, well, I think it's good when it burns. It's supposed to burn, right? That means it's killing more bacteria. I have to always tell patients, like, no pain, no gain is not what we need to use in the dental world. It's not supposed to be the case. Just because it burns doesn't mean it's doing more. Just because it hurts doesn't mean you're cleaning more.
That mouthwash thing, I've heard that before. I was like, oh, it's burning so much, it's working, right?
No!
And I'm like, hold on, just use logic for a second.
Yeah.
It's killing bacteria. Do you share nerve endings with those
Yes.
bacteria? Like, why would you feel the pain
No,
when the
it's
bacteria
in there.
was dying?
Yeah, nope.
It doesn't make
You
any
can switch
sense.
to alcohol-free and still maybe even clean better. But for fitness, I think it kind of applies sometimes. Depends on the pain.
Yeah.
Totally.
It also depends on the person. Like this is. I have to find motivators with a lot of clients. Like, what is the kind of gets them going? Not everyone's like me. I'm weird. I like pain. I like it's this thing that I kind of chase.
What?
I like when the winter hits and it gets
level.
like drops like 20 degrees here in Austin or something. I'm like, yes, and I run outside. I'm like wearing shorts. I'm like, and I go for a run.
I'm freezing.
I like it for some reason. I like my cold showers. There's something about that just makes me feel alive. I don't like leaving the gym until I basically injure myself. I do not recommend anyone copying my style. It's just who I am.
And training with him, he's totally. These are not his teaching motives, and he
Not at
does
all.
not put this in your regimen. I'm sure.
I mean, you've trained with me. Like, I feel like I go too cautiously, like preventing people from getting injured than my style, because I know how, whatever. I got myself, actually, I just injured myself on Friday. I was doing some stupid squat stuff and hurt my back. And then, of course, the injury even made me more alive. I'm like, oh, I can barely walk. And then I started, like, stretching, doing stuff. I was making it hurt more. And I'm a freak. I'm a freak. So not everyone's motivated by pain. Some people aren't, right? So you have to, like, focus on other things. Like, I like to focus on, like, what's coming up on your schedule. Like, are you going on vacation? You're getting married. Does your kid have lots of more energy than you do? Maybe you need, if you work out more, you have more energy to give over them. Everyone has more, motivators. I think the best one has to be like, well, that it's been proven that fit people make more money, right? They have more energy in the day. They have more creative problem solving. Like, you want more money?
There you go. Well, mentality there, less anxiety, less stress, endorphins are released, so you're more likely to think clearly.
Sorry, what?
Right, think clearly. I can see that.
It's funny having someone in front of the camera with me that can talk just as fast. So, because it feels like I'm revving up now.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going faster.
I have to slow down how I talk sometimes.
I might have to actually go in the editing and just like slow down the speed.
No. Slow-mo the whole video so they actually understand what we're talking about. Yeah. I roll.
One thing I love about this channel versus that 5-minute move or fit tips is it's just way more chill. Like, we're just having fun. I want you guys to get something from like her life and her experiences, but at the end of the day, I'm so sorry, guys. I should have been muted. I hate making mistakes. And she likes pointing out my mistakes. Where were we at?
My journey. We were talking about my journey with boot camps.
And then so, I guess the point being, you got up in the morning, you made a schedule out of boot camps, you've, if I'm not mistaken, because we talked about this before, you kind of gamified it where, like, if you go to more boot camps, it kind of holds you more accountable in some way.
Well, they had a system implemented where that was something that they did. You have to, it's like a check-in system, like any training or whatever, or online training. You check in, you look at your sessions. So this one, when you go to a camp, you would log in your check-in number, boom, and it would log you as checked in. So that way the camp people who are running it can see how many people are coming, and you can run reports and things that way too. But additionally, they'd give you shout outs for X amount of, check-ins or swag, or, there's certain goals and there's certain stair steps. Like if you have 10 check-ins, 20 check-ins, 300 check-ins, you get to a certain gold standard, or not that you have anything extra, but it's just different rights, and comfortability.
And that's what I meant by gamified, where you do more and you get more stuff back, so you kind of want to keep going more. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting is that because you're going so much at the same time every day, you build this habit, so now you're really sticking to it and seeing the results.
Yep.
Which of course is what that bootcamp wants, because you see the results, and then they can put you on Instagram and show them before and after.
Right, and it's not all about the Instagrams and stuff like that, but you would see people enjoying themselves more. It's just little things like that. People who go, you build community in places like that. So, and it's really still uncomfortable. Like gyms, you go by yourself, or you have a workout partner or an accountability partner. And so camps, it was easier to start with a friend or bring a friend.
Did you ever track how many boot camps you're going to or something like that?
No, because I only went during the promotions, so it's not something I would.
Oh my God, this is
your entire life. I tried to go,
What's free or cheap? Can you make that cheaper?
Hashtag first world problems. But it was something where you would start to keep it in mind, or, you'd say, hey, if I really want to start getting serious about this and invest the money and go, and what can I do with this, and how can I develop with this? And your mind starts going into a future aspect of building community. And so that was something I definitely thought of. I just never had the discipline to actually jump and do it, so my paths changed a little bit after that too. But it was a great community aspect too, which is awesome.
Well, besides the trekking part, it kind of fits with the RX Fit protocol, right? Where it's you're going to things, you're tracking every time you go to make sure that you're hitting a goal that you set for yourself, and then you have to hit the management side. So it sounds like when you manage your visits, it was to increase them so you can get swag. So that's how you.
Sort of. Well, the tracking came down to personal goals and personal weights, because with the camps it's a lot of circuits. You go with a group of people, but your workout is individual, so it's easy things. You bring dumbbells and a mat, and from there you can kind of incorporate other things. So knowing that it's that simple and you could do it in your own driveway or your own parking lot made it easier to still do things that way. But to have tangible numbers of X amount of burpees in a certain time, or you start remembering how simple the workouts were and how you can genuinely start increasing and track your own progress, in a sense of you make new goals, or hey, I was able to do 20 burpees in one session. Let's not get crazy, 5 minutes or anything. I was gonna go there first, and I was like, no one can do 20 burpees in 5 minutes except for Danny, I'm sure. keep coming
I actually
I was
gonna
waiting
say,
for you to chime in.
No. I was gonna talk about my own. This happened a few weeks ago. One of my favorite, speaking of boot camps, Heat Boot Camp is one of my favorite gyms in Austin. I don't even go there actually, so they must be, they are really good. The reputation precedes them.
Yeah.
They had a burpee challenge, and this guy did 350 burpees, nonstop.
What? With or without a push-up?
No, with
Oh my God, no
and I'm
way.
like, who is this animal?
I
Like,
picture that guy with the one mustache, with the little red shorts, this big weight, with these
You know
two
what it says like
cement
this?
blocks. Yeah. That's what I think he looks like.
oh my God.
Bald.
He jumps on a unicycle when he leaves. Yeah, that probably was him.
Yeah.
I was like monstrous. I was like, oh my God. I don't think I can do 350 burpees if you give me all day long.
Jeez.
Burpees are actually designed for more compact people too, tiny, lightweight, but also a lot of upper body, whatever. So I'm sure he was like that, but still, just insane. So you track your workouts, you're managing them like every so often. Why the management part is so important, I think I failed to explain this sometimes, is that you can only do the same thing for so long before you realize, okay, if I got to increase my goals, or maybe I have to reduce it because I'm stressed out all the time at work and this is making me more stressed, I'm putting a lot of stress on my body, or whatever. But that management section needs to come around every month or 2 months, so you can like restructure everything around your life, make sure it's still efficient, or increase difficulty to make your goals more achievable or faster or whatever. And then what I really loved, what boot camps do well, I'm not a huge fan of boot camps because they lack a lot of technique generally. And by boot camps, I mean like stuff that's done in the park and out in the middle of nowhere because there's so many people, there's only one structure, it's tough.
They are simple. You cannot work on form. You don't get a lot of, so if your form's
what they do great is accountability. Like that, it's so cool to have these people. Like I go to my group class to work out, not even because I think it's a great workout. I just love hanging out with people. I'm like, yeah, let's work out together, guys.
Socialization.
Woo, high fives.
Yeah.
Because I just hang out in this room all day long.
Right, in his cave.
Sitting in that chair doing video editing and just like feel lonely. Hang out with my cat.
Yeah, the old lady man. The old lady.
What did you just say?
The cat lady.
I'm the cat lady?
Yeah.
The cat lady man? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
I see by the way you were trying to frame us off,
Yeah.
right? Okay, yeah.
Scratch that.
Yeah, so okay, boot camps, and then we go to, you're doing, I guess you stopped doing boot camps because it's a new job or whatever, and then you're doing like what, running and shit? That was your main workout?
Yes, well, cardio was always my go-to because then I would transfer to Texas State and I started using their rec system a little bit more because I still had training experience a little bit, but I had the knowledge of boot camp some. So you start going back into and you can use dumbbells and you just start learning new techniques and new workout programs, and it's easier to incorporate it into your daily life more so than you thought it would. And once you start going to camps and the workouts are individual, you build confidence in doing things by yourself. So now venturing back into a gym facility or an individual training environment was not as foreign to me because I felt a little more comfortable with knowing a couple things to do. I've never really done a lot with machine work or anything like that. It's always balance, BOSU, medicine balls, things like that.
Work.
A lot of stability.
I like that.
Which I guess is good. Yeah, it seems to be a popular thing. It seems to be highly recommended by quite a few people. But I just don't know machines either. I'll still read the little labels. I'll be like, which muscle group? Okay, perfect. I'm supposed to go this way? Okay, good. Look right. So you build a little more confidence there and you're able to start experimenting in different ways, and my next path just kind of changed a little from there.
And then, but you had into running. What else did you do?
Yes, so I was still doing cardio, and that's always my go-to. So if I have a hard time preparing for gym, I'll still kind of run. There was one time I was...
You were actually, not to cut you off, but you were actually running around the trail for a while there on like Sundays. And I was like, hey, let me know when you're running so I can run with you. And you're
Over
like,
at the
and she's like,
lake.
I'm not telling him.
Yeah.
She just kept running without me. I'm like, dude, I live 2 blocks away from your running path.
But I'm on the south side, so I park on the other side of the river, I'm sure.
You
so
don't
I'd
run
have
around
to,
the
like,
lake?
I mean, I do, but I'm already 4 miles in over here. Maybe 2.
That's actually perfect for me. I
Great.
Finish off the last 2.
Yeah, one time I tried to run on this lake, and I was gonna do the 4-mile trail, and I looked it up, and I had my trail stuff anyway because it was one of the first few times I'd been down here, so I didn't quite know where to double back.
Yeah.
My 4-mile run turned into 8 miles, and I was dying. I was devastated. I almost went all the way to Riverside.
Wow.
I think I turned around. I may have turned around at Riverside. Or
So
I doubled
the way
back to like...
our lake, it's actually a Colorado River down here in Texas. It just runs all the way down. and it's just a big river, and you only have, what she's talking about is you only have like so many sections you can actually cross the bridge to come back to wherever you park. So you park on the south side and you cross. You gotta like, if you miss your crossover, you just keep running, I guess, until you find your next crossover.
But there's tree lines that kind of like do this shape. So over by where the
what shape?
You know, one of these hourglass shapes. I'll change my dimension for you guys. So. But as
I feel bad for the audio only people right now. Like, what is she doing? What is she doing?
I said like an hourglass.
Yeah.
So it's a curvature type of shoreline, and I see the boardwalk, but I can see like the fencing and the sidewalk. In every like corner, it looks like there's a potential bridge coming up, but I'm not totally sure because I'm still just like running, but it's just a sidewalk on the other end. You keep going. I think I ended up turning around and I saw like that Joe's Crab Shack all the way over by Riverside.
Wow.
I saw that boardwalk, and I parked over at Mopac, over by, it was awful. No,
You're
I
losing
think
everyone who doesn't live in Austin right now, by the way.
That's fine.
Like, why do I care so much about it?
Yeah, anyway.
About Austin.
Awful run.
You should care about Austin. No, I
Yeah.
don't. You can care or not care.
Check your maps before you run around Town Lake, okay?
Yeah. So, you ran for a couple miles one day.
Yes. It was a trail run, and I'm a big caffeine buff, so I like my pre-workouts. I like my caffeine ahead of time. So I had a Red Bull beforehand. Not too abnormal, and I ran, it was about 2.5, almost 3 miles. Not good. And even then, you find out they're not good for you, and there's all these other things in your system. And I already knew that as I frequently
But you're like, I'm young,
put them in
whatever.
my body. Yeah, I was then. This day, everything changed. So I was running a couple miles and had my Red Bull beforehand, and it was probably about a 20-minute commute to get back home. I didn't drink water a whole lot. I didn't drink any protein afterwards. And then I got home and I started playing with my dog in the backyard for a little bit, throwing the tennis ball, and I bent down and then lifted right back up. Still hadn't recovered, and I felt really lightheaded, super dizzy. Started to walk inside, and I just fell. I ended up getting a concussion because of it, and it's the first and only concussion I've had, but I legit had to take like a 10 days rest from all electronics. And it was kind of a scary awakening.
That's insane.
Especially from running, like that's my go-to and that's my fallback for fitness, and if I don't want to think about a weightlifting or
And that
anything
just like created
like
a
that.
barrier with your relationship with running. It's like,
Totally.
if I run, do all this happen on the trail? And it's like,
Yes.
it's a random stranger just finds me. I think the Red Bull
Or
would
to even figure out what happened in the first place, because running is something I've been doing my whole life, and a 3-mile run is not necessarily anything that was longer than normal. You know, that was a pretty average run.
It wasn't an 8-mile run.
No, God, that's when Red
That's when you should have been passed out.
Yeah, it's like middle of summer and everything.
Middle of Austin summer.
No. I think it was. It doesn't matter. It was hot. It doesn't matter.
I don't even like going outside in the middle of Austin summer.
Yeah.
Screw running.
I mean,
I'll run on a treadmill looking at it outside.
no way.
in
The more you
summer.
sweat, better weight loss. People run in sweatshirts. You can run in Austin in a
Also,
short sleeve and still do the
Very
same amount of
dangerous.
work.
Don't do that. Not good for you. It does not burn any more calories.
Really?
No.
I didn't know that.
No, yeah, running, just because you're sweating doesn't mean you're burning more calories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's your body's trying to say, hey, you're dying, dude. Stop
Yeah,
dying.
yeah. Just pause and drink some water for a second.
Yeah.
Intake some sodium.
No, you can burn more calories running in the freezing cold because your body has to regulate that. So if you imagine your body,
Cellular energy.
A little side note, I guess, let's go into science. Your body's 98.6 degrees, right, internally, and that's what it wants to regulate at. So just because it's 105 outside, it's only like, what, 12 to 13 degree difference, right? In temperature, that's not that much difference. Your body's trying to cool off, and also it doesn't have an AC unit. It's not actually burning energy to like cool you off. The only thing it can do is perspire. But when it's cold outside, you're looking at like 30 degrees, you know, depending on where you live. You live in Chicago, like negative 800 or something.
Yeah, forget about the
So
windshield,
cold.
I guess,
Yeah.
right?
You can just stand outside for 1 second, come back inside, 10 pounds lost.
Yeah, oh no.
So there's a bigger difference in temperature. So like for us here, it's like 30. That's probably our coldest. And so at 98.6 degrees, you're talking about like almost a 70 degree difference in temperature. That's a huge difference in
That's
your
a good
body.
point.
And so I has to like treating your fat like logs on a fire. It has to like just throw calories to burn in order to keep you warm, right? So it's a much better if you're taking an ice bath or do go outside in the winter or all that mess to burn energy than if it's hot. Like, I don't understand this concept, and I guess I do understand the concept. People think that their fat is melting off of you when you're sweating. Like it's like that symbolic, the visual.
Literally
It's
burning
Yeah,
calories. If it burns, it must be doing something
literally
beneficial.
burning. Like people are tanning, like, oh, I'm burning calories.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're literally not even
I'm
doing anything.
sweating off my hamburger right now.
So that's something that really gets under my skin because people really, and it gets under my skin not because I think they're just so ignorant that I'm getting mad at them. It's they're wasting their time, and I feel bad because they could be doing something that's actually helping people lose weight. So that frustrates me a little bit. So I wish that myth would die. But what was my point with it? Oh, it's your fat's not actually melting off. That's just straight water. I think it's 60, I want to say 65%, 65, 67%. And I'm probably wrong about this, but I know the majority of your fat actually just turns into air. It's just like hydrogen excess, oxygen excess, all that stuff. So breathing more can actually get you to lose more weight than running in the heat.
There you go.
But you'll get lightheaded and then you might pass out.
Nice.
So you passed out and you woke up and you're on your porch.
Yeah, I was on my porch and it was a mess. Well, I got a concussion, so that's kind of how it happened there. We don't need to worry about the details of it all, I guess.
Oh. God, so you woke up and went to the doctor, and you're like, hey, you had a concussion. And you're like,
yeah, well, there's blood places. I was swollen everywhere. And I had like legit lost consciousness for a few seconds, and I guess I had.
Did you lose your concussion though from like the impact your head hit the ground or something?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so but what happened that led up to that falling though?
I don't even know.
You still don't know?
No, low blood pressure, I guess, because I got dizzy, and that's when I like lost consciousness.
Pass out right now. I'll just finish it.
Well, getting dizzy is something that will frequently. I don't know. I've gone to the doctor, and I usually have relatively low blood pressure, but not like medically low blood pressure, you know? But I will frequently get dizzy at times when you stand up too quick or things like that, pretty average. But it kind of was not anything abnormal to me. But this one was just a little bit too much, so I was literally just gonna walk inside and sit for a couple extra minutes because it wasn't a big deal. But I put my hand on my back door handle, and that's the last thing I remembered before I woke up face down on the concrete, and I saw like blood on my hand, and I was freaking out, and I got to the mirror, and my eye was swollen, my forehead was swollen, my nose was busted, my lip was busted, and I was freaking out. I must have hit like every piece of porch furniture possible on the way down. It's only like a 4-foot drop.
Oh, God. It's like back to me waking up with my eyes so close, just wandering around my apartment. It's like you did that, but not on purpose.
But not remembering any of it.
Oh my God. You woke up like, who beat me up? Like, who just beat the shit out of
So
you?
it was scary more than anything. I called my sister and I was like, I'll be fine, right? Like, just help calm me down. And she's the one who was like, we really should go to the doctor. I said, no, but I had a black eye. And she's like, Amanda, what if you hit your eye? Like, you don't know what else is on your face. Your brain's right there.
That's a really good point.
So yeah, she's like, if you literally lost consciousness, you should probably go check it out. And I did CT scan, and he said, hey, you have frontal lobe swelling. And he was legit, the front part of my brain needed
Like,
to
so
show up.
I just hit my head really hard. It's like,
Basically.
Yeah.
Totally seen it worse. And the scary part about concussions, there's like mood swings and all types of neurological things that happen with it. There's anger and emotional distress. They did?
Yeah, Will Smith did, yeah.
Oh, nice.
It blew up, and like it was about the NFL and all that stuff, and like it was very controversial because people were like, oh, you know, you're causing brain damage to people intentionally, and you don't care.
Yikes.
I was hoping this would be some kind of cautionary tale, and I realized now like there's no point to this story.
Right, that's why I was like, okay, but I'll tell it if you want me to.
It's an interesting story.
I was gonna skip that part and go straight to the part where I was like devastated that I didn't know what I could do anymore for fitness.
I know, maybe we can't even like. There's not a learning moment in here. There's nothing to take away from this. Like I don't know what happened.
Drink water.
Yeah.
Recover
Go to the doctor when you hit your head, I guess. I don't know.
No, but it did teach me how to step back and. Because you get used to routines and you second guess your body and your aging and how you need to adapt and grow, and stretching is important, mental preparation is important, pre-workout's important, but recovering is important. So it changed my relationship with caffeine devastatingly. It changed my relationship with running devastatingly because that was my fallback.
Yeah.
When I wasn't comfortable going to the gym or I didn't keep up a routine,
So you started squatting
I would change the
right?
cardio. Yeah.
Did you?
No. IT band.
Oh,
I have a bad IT band on my leg.
It's not a bad IT band. She just refuses to
I just
deal
don't
with it.
roll it out or stretch it very often, so
So
squatting
that's
is
why it's
difficult.
bad.
So I went to him
If
to
you
help
follow
me
regularly,
modify.
You'll know
my
that I hate.
workouts.
You'll say I have bad knees, I have bad wrists, I have bad whatever. It just means you're not taking care of it. Yeah, you're not taking care of it.
Yeah.
That's like
I don't
me,
have arthritis or anything, but
That's like me saying like I'm bad at history. Like, well, it's because I don't read history books. That's why you're bad at it.
I will take accountability.
Yeah.
I don't do much to improve on it, but that means I don't fall back on deadlifts or squats. But it did change that relationship a little bit with the running. So after I recovered from that that's when I started diving more into weightlifting. I mean, I was scared to get back into cardio for a while. The impact was something I had to avoid for like a month or so. Anyway, because that's something, when you're recovering from a concussion, even the doctor's like, I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I don't know what symptoms to expect. Everybody's different.
It's insane how much we don't know about the brain.
Right.
Like, we know
And
so
he
much
was
about
so
everything.
quick to just dismiss it. Like, here's a prescription for some SSRI medication, which is an antidepressant medication. And I like refused to take it and all this stuff. And he's like, well, here's just something to help this one symptom you're having. And he was overly casual about it, which my now brain being over erratic and angry, I'm like, you don't know, like you're a professional, I'm dying. But it was kind of a scary recovery process. I didn't have any concrete information as far as when I could get back into a routine, what type of routine I could get back into. And I started weightlifting again. And I fell back on my mom a little just to say, hey, should I avoid? And it's easy to kind of say, just don't do a lot of burpees. Like, don't move your head too fast. So moderate weightlifting was actually a really great way to like throw me back into gaining a routine back with weightlifting and holding myself accountable with tracking things and getting familiar with my own muscle compounds.
Training and weightlifting, and look, she's not a bodybuilder.
No.
See? If you lift weights, ladies, doesn't mean you're gonna blow up, alright?
No.
She's tiny.
Yeah.
I always said that sometimes COVID comes that barrier with females. Like,
No,
oh,
and
I don't
that's
wanna- I don't
totally
wanna
true,
get
too.
Huge. I'm like, you think it's that easy to get huge?
You have to like overly commit to be that big. Like CrossFit, dietary intake like crazy.
Yeah, do it every day, twice a day.
I had to I'm small and I would have to work out just maybe 4 times a week. My best probably workout schedule was 5 times a week. But even then, everyone was like, increase your food, or you'll lose muscle, or you're gonna continue. The more I would work out, they'd tell me the more I'm gonna lose muscle mass because I'm not eating enough. You know, you don't recover properly and all that stuff. So the whole dynamic just changed my mentality altogether anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising with, you'll hear me talk about a lot of gender stereotypes because, well, we get them. If we have run into that issues with women, it's getting them to eat enough food. So even if they want weight loss, it's getting them to eat enough food to recover from things so that way they can actually get weight loss. And people just think of like calorie restriction. Like,
Right, but it's body nutrition.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned that too a little bit more with what you put in and what you get out, how your body's gonna burn certain things.
Oh yeah, you got into the nutrition
and how
world
to
actually.
utilize it. I did for a little
Which is
bit.
actually how we met.
Yes.
But what was it?
Pure therapeutic ketone.
I wrote